all seen the picture of a very young Alphonse at this very rink. What's the whole story behind that?
Yeah, so the whole story about it was, when I was 9 years old, I was on a tournament here,
Yeah.
two tournaments actually. So pretty fun weeks here in Winnipeg, and we lost all our games. So yeah, so that wasn't good. But yeah, I had such a good times here in Winnipeg. So that's the story about it.
So you were living in Sweden at the time. You came all the way over from Sweden for a 9-year-old hockey tournament. That's a big trip.
Yeah, it was. It was such a good experience. So I was, I knew some guys from there before, and my dad was with me as well. So yeah, it was pretty fun.
So I haven't looked back at what the roster would have been at the time, but do you remember any players that you were watching that year? Who would they have been?
Oh yeah, my buddy Herman Truff got drafted to New Jersey. He was at the same team as me. I think, yeah, one of my teammates at home, Joel Svensson, he was drafted by the Chicago Blackhawks, so he was there as well. So yeah, it's pretty fun to see those boys getting drafted as well.
And in terms of like Winnipeg Jets that were on the ice when you were here at development camp watching, do you remember any Jets players that you would have been keeping an eye on that year?
Oh yeah, I was keeping an eye on Truba. He was there, Scheifele for sure. That was like the main guys my dad told me to keep an eye on. So yeah, that was pretty fun.
Is that the first time you would have seen NHL players or future NHL players up close, or had you had an experience like that anywhere else?
Yeah, that was my first time. So it's pretty cool.
And do you remember, like, did you leave here thinking that could be me one day?
Yeah, for sure. I think it was pretty good tournament, good teams. I knew me and some of the other guys. Want to be there one day. So that's for sure. That was one of my goals. So yeah.
Alphonse, it's been a few days since the draft, and I'm wondering what stands out from what must have been just a whirlwind of a day. What do you look back on now that stood out from that time?
I mean, yeah, it was kind of blackout when Winnipeg told my name, so that was a dream come true. It was so cool. It's a pleasure to be a part of the Winnipeg Jets. We had such a good days here. Nice to meet all the boys. So it's been pretty fun days.
What have you been able to do since then? Did you come straight here, or how have you spent the few days? You're not going home to Sweden and back in that time, I doubt, or what?
No, I just the day after the draft, I just arrived here. So me and Jimmy and Brad as well, they show me around here and at the rink, and downtown. So that was pretty cool.
Even like with your family in Vegas, I know you had a big group of people with you. What was it like with your family in Vegas on the Saturday night?
Yeah, it was pretty cool to share the experience with them. So it was my mom, dad, they're divorced, so it was my stepmom as well, stepdad, two brothers, and my grandpa. So it was pretty cool to share the experience with them. You haven't been on another country with my family for so long, so that was pretty cool.
You said your dad was a hockey player, but what about your grandpa? Was he a hockey guy too?
He was actually my dad's trainer, but didn't play at all. But my dad was he was a hockey player.
Did the family go home, or did any of them join you here in Winnipeg?
Yeah, they're at home now. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Alphonse, when you walked into the building, whether it was when you got here from the draft or even today, had it changed much from what you remembered as a 9-year-old?
Yeah, it has a bit. Like when you were 9 years old, you didn't know what you were doing. So yeah, this has changed a lot. I wasn't in here when I was 9 years old, but I mean all around the place. So yeah, it has changed a bit.
Right, and for that tournament, when you were a 9-year-old, did you stay in a hotel or did you stay with the Billick family? And is there, if that's the case, is there any opportunity to reconnect with them?
Yeah, so me and my team stayed at a hotel. I didn't remember the name, but we stayed at a hotel. So that was pretty cool.
Nice to have a few fellow Swedish players in the cool here to get to know? You probably know a few of them, right? Elias?
Yeah, Elias and me got the same agent, so that's why we like know each other from the beginning. Like hooked up with Fabian as well. He's a pretty good buddy. Has been taking care of me, so that's pretty cool. Has played against him like sometimes, but didn't know him since now.
And just what's the goal for this week with the 4 days on ice? And obviously you guys are doing a lot of stuff off the ice. What are you trying to accomplish this week?
Just have fun with the boys, meet up with all the coaches and the boys as well. Of course, you're being able to train like off ice, on ice, just to develop everywhere. So yeah, just have a fun week with the boys.
For those that don't know your game, what do you how do you describe yourself as a player?
I would describe myself as a two-way defender that is more offensively minded. Like to have the puck on my blade to create scoring chances, set up my teammates in good positions. Also got a pretty good shot, I think. So that's me.
What are some of the areas you want to work on? What are some of the areas you want to work on, get better?
Yeah, especially my defense. Of course, my offense as well. To develop there, gets any better. But my physicality, I think, gonna play with men next year. So yeah, use my body a bit more. I got pretty good size, so use my body a bit more and the physicality.
Is there a player, Alfons, growing up or even now at this stage of your career that you've tried to pattern your game around?
Of course, when I was a kid, I looked up to players like Erik Karlsson, Victor Hedman, the Swedish players. But nowadays maybe Quinn Hughes. I like his game a lot. It's crazy what he's doing on the ice. He's so creativity, that's like my main guy to do my game.
Thanks very much, Alfons.